and he will make a talk about ethical AI and how to use open source software to approach for a transparent and fair marketing. So thank you, Thomas. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Stefano. Welcome, everyone. My name is Thomas. We just heard what my topic will be, and I'll talk about these different points, each of them just a few minutes. First of all, about me. I am a marketing professor, expert for marketing and artificial intelligence, especially regarding predictive analytics. So I'm no expert of free software, so my presentation is more a call for you experts here in the audience and whoever listens to this later online. I work at the Competence Center for Artificial Intelligence in South Tyrol. We do consulting for companies in all different areas of AI, using Gen AI, using other solutions to become more efficient, to appeal to consumers. And this is also based on my experience both as a researcher and also as a consultant in the business environment. And this is the situation that we are talking about in my presentation. As you see here, people, they're holding a smartphone, they're interacting with their smartphone, and this is no generational issue, right? This is true for all generations. There are differences in terms of how often and how much people use their smartphone, but this is very real. And my question now for the audience is, what do you think? How often, on average, amongst all generations, all ages, worldwide, do people take the smartphone into their hand each day? What would you guess? How often a day? 100 times. 600 times. Okay, it's not that bad. For sure, there are some people who reach even 600 times to their phone, but these are average numbers. So the average smartphone user reaches 150 times to their phone, and they tap on it more than 2,600 times every day for an average duration of more than 5 hours. This is just smartphones. Add to this other smart devices, tablets and speakers and smart TV, and then you really have an even higher number. So this is the basis of what I'm talking about. My presentation is about micro moments. This is a term originally really publicized also by Google to describe a situation which is a very brief, intent-rich moment when a person grabs their phone. And maybe you also realize that very often when we reach to our phone, it's not really a conscious decision. In today's world, very often it is something automatic that we just do like an instinct when we are in a situation when we, for example, want to know something. We're not sure about it, we want to look the information up, or we want to get something done, right? Or maybe sometimes because we actively want to buy something. So it's really very often just a split second, and this is why it's called a micro moment. And what companies try to do is whenever we interact with the internet or generally with companies, is they want to profit out of that, right? It's the nature of companies. They want to maximize their profits. They want to maximize shareholder value. And that is done by capturing that very moment when consumers are in a situation when they could potentially buy something. So I'll not just talk about micro moments. I'll talk in this presentation about emotional micro moments. So not just the moments when we reach to our phone and we do something, but when we are also somehow emotionally loaded, right? When we are happy, when we are unsure, uncertain, or maybe when we are sad or even desperate. So what are those micro moments? They are classified in 4 different categories. I want to know something. I want to know what time an event starts. I want to know where to find something. That could also then be linked to I want to go. I want to go to the Neue Techpark, for example. I want to go to a coffee shop. Or I want to do. I want to repair something, I want to find a new game, for example, right? I want to watch a movie, or sometimes I want to buy. I realize that now I have the need for something very specific. I go online, I reach to the phone, I want to buy. The interesting thing is there are these I want to buy micro moments, but really all of these micro moments are situations which companies try to turn into something where consumers buy, right? So somebody grabs their phone, they want to know something, and then very often the information that we get as users, as consumers are, okay, by the way, why not buy this, right? Why not do this and maybe use this service? So all of these different elements here, they can lead to a buying situation. By the way, I can't see the time on the screen, so maybe that can be turned.
I want to get distracted, you know.
Pardon?
I want to get distracted. It just inspires or something. I mean, it's not always that they really have this kind of intention.
Absolutely. Very often it's just a time killer, right? You do it because you don't know what else to do. And then again, instinctively, you grab your phone and then you go very often on social media and then you wanted to kill 5 minutes and maybe at the end it's an hour. But this definitely happens. So talking about emotional micro moments. Now the examples that I just gave you were not very emotional, but people, they turn to their phone for all different kinds of questions. All you have to do is to think of yourselves or of colleagues, friends, family, or go online and look at the actual data. So for example, people, they ask, should I send this message when it's about relationships, right? Friends, family, or even romantic relationships. Then, is this the right gift for my partner? Am I making a smart financial decision? Or when it comes to self-improvement, should I invest in this tool, right? Is this health program right for me? Is this food the right for achieving my goals? Or also in a workplace environment, how do I ask for a raise? How can I negotiate with my employer, for example? When it's about wedding, birthdays, right? Which service is best? This is also very emotional for most people. Is this the right time for me to make a certain change? Should I go and study? Should I pursue this new path in my career? And when it comes to founders or business people, very often they also go online and look up for information whether the business decision is right. Is this compelling? Should I enter the market with a new product? Yes or no. So these are all emotionally very loaded situations which can become problematic, and this is what I am trying to tell. If AI comes into play, right? So now we have micro moments and we have AI. And the reality is that people, to answer these questions that I just read out to you and many more, very often they already use ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on to get an answer to those questions. And it even goes beyond. So these can be really like health-related psychological questions, which are about mental health even, right? But we don't even have to go that far. It can be very day-to-day situations, right? Is this right? Does this look nice? What should I do? Is the timing right? And so on. And why do they do that? Why are they using those chatbots? They get an immediate response. They perceive it to be a private environment, right? They don't have to talk to another person. A machine is answering their questions. We also believe that they are somehow unbiased, which very often is not true, and we can access those tools 24/7. So in reality, we're not talking about the situation that I showed you before, but we are talking about a situation that looks like this. We are using our phones, right? There are apps, and in the background there is AI which is trying to influence us and bring the consumers, the users, into a direction which of course benefits whoever controls the AI. In addition, consumers or users, smartphone users, people in general, they don't have to specifically go to an AI app, but whatever app they are using, even today and for sure in the future, they will all also have AI integrated in their apps, in their programs, right? So whether it's messaging apps or other all sorts of platforms, even creative ones, productivity tools, and of course social media, we all know that there are AI algorithms in the background which try to achieve certain objectives. What are those objectives? First of all, these tools, the AI, very often is programmed to optimize engagement, which means that when we go to social media, the AI is not programmed to try to understand what the consumer is looking for and then give a quick answer and then he leaves again, right? But it's the other way around. We go online, we use the platform, and then it's about how can I keep the people from leaving, how can I get them to come back to spend as much time as possible. Why? Because the more time we spend on the platform, of course, means more money, means more revenue for the company. In addition, data equals gold, so those moments are also used to collect data about consumers, and demographic data is easily available, but it's not a good predictor to understand what does a consumer want, how does he behave. It's really about behavioral data. It's about emotions. It's about understanding what is going on in people's minds, and this is a good way how to get this data. Of course, those AI programs are biased commercially because they need to earn money, and they have a high potential to manipulate people, especially when it's an emotional moment, right? When we are very happy, when we are very sad, like the guy here on the right, but also if we are very happy and we go online, we grab our phone, we share that moment, right, with someone, and then that is the moment when we are most likely to buy. Some people, they buy a pair of shoes when they are very sad. Other people are more likely to buy something when they are very happy. And if companies can understand that through AI, then it can become risky. And all of that also leads to a vendor lock-in, right? You are on one platform, you use that, and then all the data is with that. And we know, for example, from something that just was publicized a few days ago, this is from November 6th, that Meta is earning about 10% of its revenue, billions of dollars from fraudulent ads. They know that the ads are not legit. They know that, for example, like we see here, it's advertised that you can claim your $710 tariff relief. It's, of course, a fake ad, but they still make a lot of money out of it. So we understand, for example, from this example here, that even if companies know they don't have the urge, and of course it also doesn't make sense from a financial point of view to fight against that and to be ethical in that sense. So it's not just about the fact that the companies control the AI, but it's really about how do we protect people from being exploited when they are emotionally interacting with the phone, and we saw that it's many, many hours every day. So what would be needed, right? So open source ethical AI could provide, using open models and clear data policies, first of all, transparency. Ideally, we have self-hosted options which are not platform locked. And finally, these systems shouldn't be optimized for engagement and don't have commercial interests which then result in recommendations, because that is the big risk, right? I go online, I want a solution for my emotional problem, and then I get recommended a product to be bought or a service to be used. So please, community, build an open source AI which is then also publicized to the people, that people know for emotional questions, I can use that, I get good answers, it's transparent, there is no company behind which tries to sell me something when I open up, when I try to answer those emotional questions, and that would really make a huge difference. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, we have 10 seconds for one comment or a question.
Yeah.
So maybe
Just 1 second, please.
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. So what is your suggestions for the best open source AIs to work with?
Actually, given that I'm not an expert on that, I just want to, with my background in marketing and AI, I wanted to say, okay, this is a problem. This is something where people are getting exploited already today, and it will become worse in the future. So I hope that there are solutions out there, or that they get. I don't know it, right? So, and that's already a problem, right? So people should know if there are solutions, or otherwise, please, somebody here, build something that goes into that direction and make it known to people.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Thomas, for
All right.
your presentation. Really
Thank you so much.
insightful and inspiring.